Hello, my freaky darlings. Welcome back. This week, I'm exploring one of the great mysteries of the world, the Lost Colony of Roanoke. In August 1587, a group of about 115 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Later that year, John White, governor of the new colony, sailed back to England to gather a fresh load of supplies. He left his wife and daughter, his infant granddaughter Virginia Dare, the very first English child born in the Americas, and the other settlers behind. Now, just as he arrived in England, a major naval war broke out between England and Spain, and Queen Elizabeth I called on every available ship to confront the Spanish Armada. Only in August 1590, 3 years later, White finally returned. Governor White and a party of sailors waded ashore on Roanoke Island. According to White's accounts of events, they spotted fresh footprints but met no one. As they climbed a sandy bank, they encountered a tree with the carved letters C-R-O. This was, White explained, a pre-arranged code. If the settlers were to leave the island, they would carve their destination in a tree or post. Adding a cross would mean they left in an emergency. He found no trace of the colony or its inhabitants, and few clues as to what might have happened, apart from a single word, Croatoan, carved into a wooden post without any cross or sign of distress. The post itself was part of a defensive palisade thrown up after White had left, which could have been a sign that the settlers had prepared for an enemy attack. But let's face it, in those days that was pretty much par for the course, wasn't it? I mean, Anyway, so they had left a clue as to where they were going, since it was the name of an island south of Roanoke that was home to a Native American tribe of the same name. Now, some believe the colonists were killed or abducted by the native Croatoan Americans. But that makes no fucking sense. That ignores the fact that they had arranged with White before he left that they would carve a destination on a post if they left Roanoke. So, if they were attacked and all butchered and killed by the Native Americans, where would they have had the time to carve Croatoan on the post? I mean, you're not going to do that if you're in the middle of a fucking battle. And also, if there'd been no survivors, and the Native Americans wouldn't have known to carve anything on a fucking post. So there's no fucking logic to any of that. Or is that just me? Anyway, so maybe they packed up and fucked off to Croatoan and picked a fight with the native inhabitants and lost. Maybe their supplies ran out and they were starving and the Croatoans took them in out of the kindness of their hearts. It has been known to happen. So there's no actual great mystery about what Croatoan means. It's not the name of some demon that came and took them all out. White also mentioned that the colonists initially intended to move 50 miles inland. So it's not beyond the stretch of the imagination that that's exactly what they did. But what is a mystery to me, anyway, is why the fuck didn't White just hop back in his boat and go find them? It was only 50 miles due the south. Now, apparently a series of setbacks and a lack of provisions scuttled his plan to continue the search. That's just fucking bullshit. Surely going all the way back to England would have required more supplies than just going to the fucking island that was only 50 miles away. Like, duh. But, Anyway, on returning to England, White found Sir Walter Raleigh, the colony's wealthiest patron, busy organising a new venture in Ireland. Without deep pockets to finance a transatlantic expedition on his own, White never went back to the New World. The 115 colonists, including his family, were pretty much forgotten, marooned on a distant shore. So 2 decades later, the English established their first permanent settlement in the Americas, 100 miles to the north on the James River, in what is now Virginia. Captain John Smith, he of the Pocahontas story, the leader of the Jamestown colony, heard from the Indians that men wearing European clothes were living in the Carolina mainland west of Roanoke and Croatoan Islands. Tales of mass slaughter and an enslaved young maid circulated in London and Jamestown. Search parties, however, never found any physical proof of the colonists' fate. So, what do you think happened to the Roanoke settlers? So, that's it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you're interested in things that go bump in the night, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other weird shit, please hit that subscribe button or the follow button, depending on which platform you're viewing this on. If you've read any of my books and enjoyed them, be a freaky darling and leave a review wherever you bought it. Pretty please. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and whatever you do, don't move to a far-flung colony without enough supplies or the knowledge of how to survive. You know,